My name is Kilani Ezekiel. Welcome to the Student Place. Today we'll be discussing the topic stuttering and self-esteem. As a person, I've spoken in conferences, I've acted in movies, I've participated in stage drama, I've spoken to a crowd of more than 1,000 people. I do more of public speaking, whatever that has to do with public speaking, motivational talks. I just love doing them. But all these stuffs, I do them even while stuttering. But I didn't stop doing them and I do them anyways. And as you can see, I'm also doing a video now. Stuttering is an obstruction in speech characterized by repetition of sounds, syllables and words, halting of speech, uneven production of speech, and the rest of them. One thing about stuttering is that it affects how you produce speech. When you want to produce a speech, you want to say a word or a sentence, you always calculate in your head each words of those sentences. You have to look at them in your head and you calculate, if I should say this word this way, will I stutter or not? And as a result, it makes you try to change words as soon as possible on your head. You think about that sentence you want to make and each of the words in that sentence, and you consider whether it will make you stammer when you say them or not. And as a result, you quickly want to change the words of those sentences that will suit you, because you are so scared of producing that sentence that way and how people are going to react to it. Stuttering affects you in so many ways. It affects your communication, it affects your interaction, it makes you shy, it affects your interrelationship with people, even your performance in class, it affects you that way too. As a young boy, I was so vibrant, I was a sociopath, I loved talking then. Not until one day I started realizing difficulties in pronunciation of sounds, in talking. I started repeating words and sounds. Before then, I saw it as nothing, I saw it as normal, I was living my life. Not until when my friends started observing the same thing, and as a result, started laughing at me, making jest of me, making fun of me. Because of that, I became so conscious of the fact that I was stuttering, and as a result, I so much withdrew myself socially. I reduced how I talk, I reduced how I relate to people. In fact, then I became so humbled, so warm. In a group discussion, in the midst of my friends, I'm always quiet, so moody, not wanting to talk, like having so many things in my head to say, but the fear of saying them was there, because I was so scared that if I should say them, I would stutter and my friends would laugh at me. All those stuffs were in my head, like I have so many contributions to make, so many things to say, but the fact that I'm going to stammer if I say them were in my head. So as a result, I withdrew myself, I stopped talking. In a group discussion, instead of contributing, talking to, I'll just keep quiet and be laughing as if I was flowing with whatever was going on, yet I won't be able to talk. Stuttering has affected my self-esteem a whole lot. It affected me socially. I was socially withdrawn. I withdrew how I relate to people. I stopped talking to people that much. I stopped relating with people. In fact, I was so timid and so shy then because of what? Stuttering. The time came, the thing really affected me. I got depressed. I was thinking, how can I change this? How can I stop this? And one thing that also affected me was that when it started, my parents didn't really try to stop me. They felt it was something normal. Yes, it's always normal for children to stutter while they are young, but this stuttering really affected me, and I grew up with it. Even till now, I still stutter. But one thing is that I didn't allow it to affect me anymore. I do my talking, I do my public speaking, I do my interaction. I do not allow stuttering to affect me. One thing about stuttering is that it has to do with your head. It has to do with your head. If you allow it, it's going to affect you. It will affect everything about your life. It will affect your social interaction. It will affect your academics. It will affect your relationship with people if you allow stuttering. Yeah, it is there. Just ignore it. The fact that there's no cure for stuttering. There's no cure for it. There's no medicine you can take or drug you can take and say this is to cure stuttering. There's nothing like that. So you just have to ignore it. Just live your life. Flow. Do the things you love doing. Like myself, I love public speaking and I do it a lot, even with stuttering. And you know the good part of it? When I'm talking in public, I don't stammer. While standing in a podium to talk, I don't stammer. I talk freely without repetition. It's not because I don't stammer. I stammer. But while talking in public, I don't. Why? Because I made stammering infinitesimal. I made it of no value. I ignored it totally. So the best thing for you to do is to ignore it. I know there are so many people out there who are also facing this issue of stuttering and who feels that it has really affected them, affected their interrelationship with people, affected the way they relate to people, their social life. Yeah, I understand, but you can still do well even with stuttering. All you have to do is just ignore that fact, ignore it, just live your life. And stuttering can be caused by some stuff. Like most times it's always hereditary. Like myself, my mom stutters when she's angry. Like you need to see her stutter. She stutters, my siblings stutter. So most times stuttering is hereditary. We inherit it from our parents, from our grandparents, or family bloodline and things like that. And one thing that triggers stuttering is anger, anxiety, fear. In the state of anger, state of anxiety, state of fear, stuttering is inevitable. Even for a normal person who doesn't stutter, when they are angry or when they are anxious, like they tend to stutter. So stuttering can be triggered by these three factors: anger, anxiety, and fear. So most times when we are angry, we tend to like stutter. We can't even say words completely. We can't say a complete sentence freely without stuttering. So guys, stuttering can be controlled. There's no cure for it, but it can be controlled, and it is only you that can control it. You just have to ignore the fact that you're a stutterer and live your life the best way you can. Live your life. Ignore stuttering. Do what you love doing. If you love talking, talk very well. Talk to your friends. Relate with your friends very well. Even if they laugh at you. Yeah, it's hot, but you just have to live your life. And I'm very sure that you'll be fine and okay.